Welcome back, y'all.
Guys.
I'm Gabriel Canet.
I'm Crispy.
This is BARFLIES Untapped, where we discuss everything BARFLIES.
Yeah.
So, this being the first episode, welcome. Thanks for following us. We're just going to break down basically everything that is BARFLIES. It's a podcast that we're turning into an animated series, and today we're just going to break down the world. Like, what is the world of BARFLIES? And the world of BARFLIES is the planet they live on. It's called Planet Dump, and it's in a universe that is actually shaped like a big old coil of shit.
Yeah.
So this whole universe is a coil of shit, and basically this Planet Dump, is basically like a little peanut in that coil of shit. So you have Planet Dump, and the main city on this planet, kind of like the equivalent of New York City. It's called Monolith City, and Monolith City has a bunch of different districts, just kind of like New York City does. Like this one, except has you have like a cyborg district, and that's called Circuit City, where all the cyborgs are running around. You have instead of obviously you have Chinatown, but Koreatown's not called Koreatown. It's called the Soul Patch District. Get it? Mm-hmm. You also have instead of Manhattan, you have Womanhattan.
Oh yeah.
And then you have. I was trying to find a place to put like Little Prussia, instead of like Little Odessa, like Little Prussia, for any history buffs out there. But Monolith City, it's basically like any vast metropolis. It's got a bunch of it's got a bunch of bars, and one of these bars is where all the barflies meet and they congregate.
Have you actually? Sorry to interrupt, but have you've drawn a map, right, of Monolith City, like its boroughs?
I drew.
Did you? Had you?
We kind of actually
did, right?
Well, what Charles did is he actually brought it up. You know what? We'll bring it up there. So as you can see there, I mean, we're looking at it over here, but as you can see here, Charles already did like this entire borough right here.
Oh yeah.
It's cool, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, and this is just like one like corner of it. I just love like this bird's eye view of it.
Yeah. Feel right at home.
And but even this up here, like where like the alien abduction's happening, in the background, like it's rubble, but that's basically like what the city turns into after. But
Gotcha.
And then over here you can see kind of like there's a tail end of like the world. It looks like Earth, but like I said, the universe is in a coil of shit. So so the bar that they reside at, it happens to be called the Barfly. And interesting enough,
Just barflies.
what were we gonna call it? We called it Barflies, right?
Yeah, or it's just called bar.
I think we just called bar.
Mm.
Well, I think well, it's already being drawn. I'm pretty sure it's called the Barfly. But didn't you also say that there's an actual Barfly bar in San Francisco or something?
Yeah,
like
there
that?
is. There is. I remember.
Yeah, shout out to you guys.
Hey.
So then, like, what else in this world? So as you can see, like, in this world, they, as you can see, the characters, obviously, they have a lot of human features, bug eye, but they also have bug eyes, they have bug wings, and they have bug antennas.
Compound eyes.
Now I know what y'all are thinking. What kind of sexual genitalia do they have? And my answer is, what do you think? You fucking pervert.
Gotcha.
Anyway, moving on. So they watch the same movies and basically stream the same shows that we do. So they get the same jokes, and only difference is there are some variations they take. So like we mentioned in an earlier episode that their most existential movie ever made for them in this world is The Fly, the 1989 Gina Davis Jeff Goldblum movie, The Fly. And because of that, in this world,
Genius film.
Yeah, it's a great film. Watch it. Watch the original too, because the 1989 version is actually a remake.
Yeah.
So in this, but in this world, in Mala City, that film is so renowned that Gina Davis and Jeff Goldblum are actually gods.
Deities.
Yeah, they're worshipped as gods on this planet.
It's like, wouldn't you say like Joseph and Mary?
Kind of,
but they're like battling with one another. I don't know.
I mean, it's more like the Catholic Christ versus the Christian Christ. I feel like because in this world there you have like these two dueling religions. Well, you have three, but the two main dueling religions you have Bloomshianity, which is what people worshiping Jeff Goldblum, and it's basically an equivalent of Christianity. And then you have Davisism, which is them worshiping Gina Davis, and it's the equivalent of Catholicism. And then you have how was I going to say it? I think it's because Eric Stoltz was in the second Fly. We were going to have another religion called it was either going to be called Ericism or Stoltzism, but it's basically to like represent Judaism. So you have like these three. You have religion on this world, but the joke we're trying to show that will be very, very sensitive for a lot of people, subject matter, and this is how we tackle like social commentary. We try to bury it under layers of under layers of comedy. I'm sorry, I'm a little stoned. I'm sorry. So something we do is something like along the lines of how the whole idea that these are religions being worshipped. These are religions being set up to worship actors as gods. That's kind of the joke we're trying to make, is that religion is basically as fictitious as actors being worshipped as gods. And so like we don't go out and say it and be like, oh look, it's all an act, but this is how, if you listen to any of the episodes and you follow along the story, you'll see that we try to be a little more smart about it, but we still, we get our licks in. I make it a point to get our licks in, trust me. There's a lot of things in this world worth making fun of, and
absolutely,
the trick is just executing it right. Because I personally believe, on a personal note, that one of the best weapons you have is cracking a joke. Like, and some of the most, you can reveal so much in a joke about a person and about someone, and sometimes in like extreme cases, man, like all it takes is a joke to get down to the bottom of it, or to bring absolute awareness to people. That's kind of like what like Rick and Morty has done. That's kind of like what Venture Brothers did. Robot Chicken, I got tilt my hat to them. They did that too. Or like something as subtle as, or something like as extreme as like Hannibal Buress's joke about Bill Cosby, and then boom, what happened? Bill Cosby got exposed.
Damn.
So, I mean, there's a lot of power in comedy. There's a lot. And so we're trying to basically figure out where our power lies in that with Barflies. So, but what about you, Tris? You talk about the world a little bit. What do you think about about Mala City, basically? When you think of Mala City, what do you picture?
I don't know. I think just, I guess I could say, being from New York, we live in New York City, and we live in various parts of the city, different boroughs and what have you.
It'd be a different world, just from like a turn of a corner.
So I kind of, I don't know, I envision, where this bar is located is somewhere like near the Bowery, like downtown, like below 14th Street.
I definitely picture it being somewhere in like Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I picture like Bed-Stuy.
Oh.
Bed-Stuy, or even Queens. I could see this being like a Queens bar.
See, I mean, it's very, it translates to every borough.
Yeah, it really does.
It does, yeah, because, I mean, there's a little Staten Island kind of thing going on.
Yeah, and we have, and I mean, if not through like background characters, main characters definitely represent different different cultures and different walks of life, which in this city, especially if anyone, or any major city, if you know from living in a city like that, you know, like there's just rich cultures of life that are very, very prominent, and sometimes it could be as big as a block, sometimes it could be a whole borough, you know.
Absolutely. I mean, please, yeah, spend any time in Queens. Especially Astoria.
Yeah.
Right? You spent time in Astoria?
Yeah, a lot, yeah.
I mean, everyone knows Sesame Street, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, it's based off of a street in Astoria. Astoria is like one of the most diverse. I think it's Queens is like the most racially diverse borough in New York City, and I think and Astoria being like #1 neighborhood or something like that. It's really that cool, and that's how I think of Monolith City a little bit.
It's you know what? I mean, aside from that, I think the other thing is language. We'll touch on this really quick before we got about like another minute here before we sign off. But in this world too, and we'll go into this next time, but the language is different. Instead of saying like we've taken some nice little liberties like with as far as like religious it's not blasphemizations, blasphemous phrases to to just regular cuss words. Like in for example, in this world, they don't say fuck, they say stuck. You know, stuck you, get stuck. The stuck you talking about, stuck you mother stucker. Go get stuck on fly paper, and that's the whole insult is getting stuck on fly paper.
Ooh, he did that.
So that's how they say fuck. That's gonna do it for us tonight, guys. Tune in next week. We will have more good shit, and we'll start describing too, not just insults, but also music.
Music as well.
Yeah, because we got a lot of music.
There's a lot. This is a world.
Yeah, and we haven't even started interviewing like our cast members and like other people like on the creative side.
You're gonna love them.
Yeah. We got a great crew. We really do. We are very, very lucky.
Very lucky. Yeah.
But that's gonna do it for us over here. Again, this is Barflies Untapped. I am Gabriel Canet.
I'm Chris Bean.
Have a good night, y'all.
Good night.